From VHS tapes and hidden secrets to secret rooms, scrapped prototype designs, and details that completely changed the story of Chapter 5. Today we're going to uncover the biggest secrets hidden in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. And believe me, some of these are so well hidden that there's a good chance you missed them on your first playthrough. If you look closely during the intro commercial, you can actually see the real appearance of the prototype before it's fully revealed later during the tea party. The music used in this commercial is also based on a very famous children's song, the Hokey Pokey. The Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Trailers showed many interesting details, but not all of them appeared in the final game. One example is this cardboard cutout of Poppy, which appeared in promotional material but doesn't actually appear anywhere in Chapter 5. At the beginning of Chapter 5, we return with Hokey Wokey in a scene that continues directly from Chapter 4, but the room is a bit different. The interior seems to be more modern, less destroyed, and even the color of the walls is completely different. So either the room changed between chapters, or maybe it's not exactly the same room we saw before. During the chase with Hokey Wokey, the monster isn't the only one who can scare you. If you fall right in front of Hokey Wokey at the right moment, he also gets scared for a second. It's a small detail, but it makes the monster feel strangely real. One of the Aurimals variants seems to be a teddy bear, and thanks to behind-the-scenes images shared after the chapter's release, we can confirm that this creature was indeed based on a teddy bear. After 4 chapters, we finally meet Bronn, but his condition is not good at all. His body is chained in one place, he can't move, and underneath him, the Aurimals are constantly biting and tearing at his body. What keeps Bronn alive is Poppy Gel, a compound that allows the body of an experiment to regenerate and grow uncontrollably. This could be the way the prototype solved the resource problem during the 10 years inside the Playtime Company factory, while MOB Entertainment also keeps its tradition of making the dinosaur variants suffer in every version. Throughout Playtime Company, we come across a lot of numbers. Most of them are used for codes and passwords. But it seems that MOB Entertainment still keeps its habit of adding random and fun details, just like they did in previous chapters. A small detail about Chum is that he doesn't speak. Instead, he communicates using sign language. And after the player comes face to face with the prototype, Chum uses sign language to tell us that we're in trouble. But even after that, he still tries to calm the player down by patting them on the head. The next major location in this chapter is Sweet Street, the area connected to Lily Love raids. Lily is a character who had already been planned since previous chapters, and she went through many different designs over time. One of the earliest and most interesting concepts for Lily shows her standing on her own hair, which gives her a much more unsettling and supernatural appearance. Sweet Street also used to have a completely different design, with a much more pronounced liminal space style. If you know series like The Backrooms, this atmosphere will likely feel familiar. Now that we've talked about the giant monsters, let's talk about some smaller details. If you open all the doors and cabinets in the kitchen, Lily's kitchen, you can find a teapot. And it's not just any ordinary object. You can actually pick up the teapot, put it on the stove, boil it like a normal kettle, and even serve tea in a cup afterwards. The tense atmosphere of the red light, green light game in Lily Love raids probably made many players miss some fun details. For example, the songs that Lily uses in this scene are real children's songs that many people already know. Some of those songs include Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and Itsy Bitsy Spider. Other melodies also appear in this section, including a version of Poppy's Lullaby, the same melody that both Lily and Poppy hum in this area. And no matter how fast you run, you'll always end up being forced to take part in Lily's tea party. And this is the moment that Poppy Playtime fans had been waiting for. The first time we finally see the true form of Experiment 1006, the prototype. To reach its final form, the prototype went through many different designs. In the early stages, it had a body more or less the size of a normal toy, but it still kept the idea of a jack-in-the-box. Also, with its mechanical arm and the mix of different toy parts, another concept of the prototype developed during Chapter 2 made the jack-in-the-box idea even more obvious. But by Chapter 3, the prototype already had a much larger body, and its design shared some clear similarities with the statue that Catnap worshipped. Then, Chapter 4 showed a new version of the prototype with an extremely disturbing shape. It no longer looked so much like a toy, but interestingly, it fit with Isaac's original idea for the prototype. A creature with an intelligent appearance, capable of speaking, and that wasn't just any ordinary monster. And one detail that fans still debate is this. Did the prototype break Poppy's mask on purpose, or was it an accident? Based on the prototype's body language, many believe it was an accident. His gestures and reaction make him seem more scared than aggressive at that moment. But fans don't have to guess anymore, because the Mob Entertainment team confirmed that the prototype broke Poppy's mask by accident. He wasn't trying to hurt her on purpose. The prototype also mentions a place called A Better Place, but the English version says The Better Place. According to him, that's where he hides the orphan children. At first it sounds like he's talking about heaven. But if that's true, why is The Better Place always written as if it's the name of a real location in the English version, with capital letters and everything? Even the death screens keep referencing the orphan children, which suggests they'll have a very important role in Chapter 6. Another hidden area behind Giblet's room reveals a huge mountain of construction waste and discarded materials, hinting that the world outside the main factory is much bigger than we originally thought. Several documents also reference projects outside the factory, including Playtime Park, which was first mentioned in Chapter 3. Those same documents also mention 2 other major projects, including one in Japan called A New Beginning. Considering how popular Poppy Playtime is in Japan, this could even be hinting at a future game set there. Just like in previous chapters, you can also see the prototype secretly watching the player from different places in the factory. A strange detail about the prototype statue is that, unlike all the others, it doesn't have any legs. That silently confirms that the prototype's original body was still based on a jack-in-the-box, and that its spider-like legs were modifications that were added later. During the final battle, the prototype starts to mimic the voices of different toys from the factory, and if you pay attention, you'll notice that they're all lines you've already heard before throughout your journey. If the prototype's death screen in the final game didn't seem scary enough to you, an even more disturbing version was removed before release. This version looks a lot like the movement it makes when it cuts one of Lily's braids. After the prototype throws the player into this strange liquid, somehow we're still alive despite having been impaled. Based on everything we learn in Chapter 5, it's very likely that this liquid is Poppy Gel, which would explain how the player survives. This theory becomes even stronger because Giblets electrocutes the player, matching the exact procedure described in one of the experiment notes from Chapter 2. Finally, Chapter 5 gives us even more evidence about the true identity of player. Of all the surviving employees of Playtime Company, Richard Lovitz remains the strongest candidate. The hidden VHS tape found in Chapter 5 finally completes the story of Richard Lewis, from his early days as an easily angered employee to eventually becoming one of the most respected workers in the company. But Bronn isn't the only familiar face that appears in this chapter, because Chapter 5 also marks the return of Pianosaurus. Your mission is to find several hidden scanners scattered throughout the map. If you manage to scan them all, a secret Pianosaurus event will be triggered. Among the familiar faces in Chapter 5, we also have the return of the lemon painting. You can find it by solving a puzzle and entering through a secret door in the research and development area. But that's not all. You can also bring Lemon back. All you have to do is find another hidden room near the research and development area. Place Lemon inside and you'll unlock the main song of Chapter 5 made by CG5.